Mixed Martial Arts Plus.
How has your camp been and how have you prepared yourself?
Camp's been good, it's always the same. I live at St Army Gym, so I live there Monday to Friday during the week, and John Maguire is fighting the Marcus Johnson on UFC Sweden, so he's preparing for that as well, so he's living at the gym. So me and John train together 2-3 times a day. You know, I grapple with him, and he's a welterweight, but he walks around about 92 kilos because he likes to eat.
So, he likes the donut, doesn't he?
He loves the donut, loves the donut, loves the pizza, loves the kebab, loves whatever he can put in his mouth. So yeah, training, I've been doing my weight with him, I've been running with him, I've been grappling with him, boxing with him. It's been good. I've employed a new boxing coach who I've been working with now for 6 weeks, 7 weeks, Steve Whitwell. He's from St Ives boxed in, and that's where I lack a little bit. You know, my stand-up game, although I went to Thailand for 7 months, I've got my knees, got my knees, my actual hands, not great. Getting better, not great.
Because I was going to say, considering your last appearance at UTMA 26 against a known knockout specialist and someone with quite good stand-up, the flying knees and the punches and the kicks you were throwing, it didn't look like you were lacking in that department. I think everyone assumed because the camp that you fight at that you'd just be a good grappler. I think you surprised Ben with your stand-up as well.
Well, this is it, you know. I'm built like a stand-up fighter. I'm 6'6", and I'm normally I've got sharp elbows and I've got pointy knees. And I went to Thailand for 7 months. I didn't sit around on the beach. I was training hard, like 3 times a day, enjoying life, training hard. And we knew that. We knew, you know, the game plan always was take Ben Callum down. I'm not going to stand there and trade with the guy, but you can't take somebody down just by wrestling. You can't set things up. And to be honest, I come up with a flying knee on the Wednesday, did it on the Saturday. Me and Nigel were sitting there like, how can I close the distance? You know, I've got long arms, don't want to jab him, so just run at him and throw a flying knee. I was inspired by Imanari against Robbie Olivier. I don't know if you saw that fight. Because he just come running in and jumped at Robbie and it threw Robbie off. So that's what I did. I did the running flying knee, and I think I've cracked his ribs, so it worked.
Did you, did the fact that you had that last fight and it went so well, and the fact that you just come off a training camp leading up to the fight, make the decision to take this fight at short notice easier?
I think the success in my last fight really helped. I think like, although I'm a confident guy, people can tell I'm quite a confident guy. I think I'm confident in the cage, I fight well and the rest of it. I don't really get nervous. Beating a guy like Ben Callum was a bit of an ego boost. The guy is intimidating. Like, that's the thing about it. I don't get intimidated by like much, you know, but he's a big scary dude, and when you're in the cage with him it's different. Walking around, I stood next to him, I was like, that's a big dude. Actually, Alma challenged the last time he fought, when he fought Jason Wagner. I watched that fight, 2 middleweights. I was like, these guys are up and comers like me, might fight on them someday. And Ben Callum won. Oh, that was good. Then I saw him at the bar and I stood next to him. It's fucking huge, huge. And then I turned it out 2 weeks later, I got a phone call and I was fighting. So,
and the thing is, I remember the atmosphere at the press conference. It was him and his management, and it was a load of your teammates. But it's like he just didn't care. It was a bit tense. And the fight played out, considering it could have been a quick fight. You could have got knocked out quickly, or he could have got knocked out quickly, and all the hype before it could have been like, there's more excitement in the press conference than the fight, but the fight played out really well. Yeah,
I mean, there was a few interviews flew around. To be honest, I don't think I said anything that bad, you know. And I actually, the thing that made me sort of grow in confidence with that, with the written interview side, I said there's some holes in Ben Callum's game, and I'm going to expose them. Was the phrase that I said. And I didn't say anything. That's it. And he wrote back saying, my jiu-jitsu's great, blah blah blah. I didn't mention jiu-jitsu. He just, you know, he told me his holes, you know. And I was like, right, you know, my jiu-jitsu's brilliant. You're in trouble. So I was really, really happy. The fight was tough. You know, Ben Callum's tough, good guy. It really did play out. It was tense. I made it tense. I made the weigh-ins tense. I made sure I looked at his face. I made sure I sort of turned away from him and did a lot of little things. And when we come out, I was pacing, staring at him. I was trying to be the intimidating one, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I felt I did a good job and I got in his head, and I think it made him come flaying at me, trying to knock me out, and that made the takedowns even easier.
Okay. Moving on to your Barnatt opponent.
Yeah.
You're facing a tall opponent like yourself, known for his submissions. How will you look to combat his ground assault?
My ground's better. That's how I look to it. My ground game is, since Ben Cannon fight, it's only been 5 weeks or 6 weeks, it's got twice as good anyway, just from the experiences I had there. But my ground game is clever. It's, you know, it's where I started. My MMA game, I wasn't a striker, I wasn't really a wrestler. I like the ground. I start from my back, I work off my back. Now I've got a top game. I've got 5 or 6 submissions that I'm very good at, that I string together, boom, boom, boom. I mean, in my last fight alone, I went for a go-go flat from mount, I went for an inverted triangle, you know, some high level things, you know, not just rear naked choke. If you actually watch Lee Johnson, I've watched his fights, you know, I study my opponents, his ground's alright, but the guys he's fought have got no ground, so it makes his ground look good.
Yeah.
If I pride myself on my submission game. You know, John Maguire, who is a fantastic practitioner of jiu-jitsu, me and him have brilliant roles. You know, it's not like I get raped. You know, it's hard for him as well. So my ground, the way I combat his ground game is with my own ground game. If it hits the ground, which is where I think he wants to take the fight, I'm more than confident. I hope it goes to the ground. You know, I'm testing my stand-up in this fight. I want to use the stand-up, but if it goes to the ground, I'll be comfortable.
So, how was training with John Maguire aided your growth in MMA?
Oh, yeah. Without John, well, all the guys, mainly John, I wouldn't be anywhere near as good, because he's a great friend of mine. We train every day, you know. I'm not just, you get a lot of guys that I train with, blah, 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 blah. Me and John live together, you know, I train with him all the time. He's given me a different ethos to jiu-jitsu, you know. Jiu-jitsu's, and wrestling, and MMA really, you know, he outthinks his opponents. Every time John fought on Ultimate Challenge, he was underestimated. Every single time they're like, because he's fat. He is fat, there's no doubt about it, the guy is fat. But he is better than you, because he doesn't outstrength his opponents, doesn't outpower his opponents, he outthinks them, he's intelligent, he's an intelligent fighter, he puts people where they don't want to be, and that's how I fight. And that's what I take it from. I've got my power, my strength, and, you know, my good base from Jack Mason, who I train with, who's a great friend of mine, train with him all the time. You know, and then I've got added extras from the likes of Joachim Hansen, who I train with a lot, August Bollard, Sam Yosef, you know, Musa Bahari, who fought for BAMMA, you know. I train with really, really top level guys, and I don't just train with them. I'm there with them every day.
Yeah,
it's good.
How do you see this fight playing out, Steve?
Well, I don't mind talking about it. Like, I'm going to go out there and try and punch his head off. I'm going to hit him. He's going to shoot. I'm going to hit him. He's going to shoot. I'm going to sprawl. Probably going to end up with a submission. I don't want a submission. Really don't want one. I want to keep standing, but I can't see him standing with me. He is tall. I'm taller. I'm stronger and I'm faster. I think most of my damage will be done up against the cage. I don't think the guy's going to be able to take me down. I just can't see it. I wrestle with better people every day. So yeah, I can see me hitting him shitting himself, him shooting on me, and then me finishing the fight.
Cool. Thank you very much, mate.
Mixed Martial Arts Plus.